Okay, where do we start? First, don't pay any attention to that bird. He's just there because, I don't know, he looked cool. But we're gonna start right here. This was almost a year ago. Actually, let's back up just a little bit more to when this was all just an idea, or a dream, if you will.
It will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine.
So yeah, I worked almost 3 weeks without a day off, but I got it. I got the camera. Okay, what you just watched is a perfect scaled down example of how I believe you should approach all things that you want in life. First, you must know what you want. Then you must gain some kind of an understanding on what kind of work it will take to obtain the thing you want. Then comes the part where I believe most people struggle, and that's doing the work. But we're not going to get into all that. The point is I knew what I wanted and I did what it took to get it. So up until that point, I used my phone to film everything. And it got the job done for most things that I wanted to do, but the more I filmed and the more I practiced and the more I learned, the more I wanted a real camera. I obsessed over this thing. Just like you saw a second ago, I would literally go into Best Buy just to stare at this camera and imagine all the stuff I would film with it. The only problem was it was super expensive, but I knew I would eventually have this camera. I didn't know how and I didn't know when, but I knew I would have it. So at the beginning of July of last year, opportunity presented itself in the form of a flood. The place I worked at flooded after a big storm. The entire building was covered in about 2 inches of water, and close to 70% of all of our product was destroyed in the process. So you're probably wondering what the hell this has to do with my camera. Well, needless to say, after this flood there was a ton of work. So I worked, and I worked a lot. And I ended the month of July having worked almost every single day that entire month. And I'm not gonna lie, it was brutal. Long, hot, miserable days, work and sleep, that's all I did. But I walked away with the biggest check I had ever received up until that point. And on my first day off, I went and bought this camera. And just as I knew I would, I fell in love with it. I took it everywhere with me. I filmed anything and everything I could just for the practice. And that passion for this camera has lasted every single day up until this point. And I believe a lot of that has to do with how hard I worked for it. So a few weeks ago when this camera of mine decided to break on me, I was devastated. See, I didn't buy this camera to film my kids opening up Christmas presents or filming birthday parties for the footage to just ultimately be tucked away in some drawer or some closet somewhere. I bought this camera because it's my tool. Everyone has one. A painter has a brush, a writer has a pen, a musician needs an instrument, a mechanic needs a wrench. You get what I'm saying. And I needed a camera. Because no matter what people want to think or however far-fetched it may seem, this is my calling. And this is what I will do for the rest of my life. I am 100% sure that, just as I was 100% sure that somehow, some way I would get this camera. I don't care if I have to load semi-trailers for the next 10 years and just continue to do this on the side. I'll do whatever it takes. Opportunity comes in many different forms. Sometimes it comes gift wrapped and served to you on a silver platter, and sometimes it comes in the form of a ton of work and time and energy and heartache and learning, but it's opportunity nonetheless. So in closing, I guess this video has the same takeaway that pretty much all my other videos have, which is do whatever it takes to get what you want. And I assure you that as long as I have my tool, whether it be this camera or my phone or a $100,000 Red Epic someday, that I will continue to put in the work. And I urge anyone who's watching this to go find your tool and start using it. Because out of all the experiences that I've experienced, this one, the one where I follow my dreams, is by far the best one I've ever had. But that's it, guys. That's it for this Storytime Sunday. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, comment, all that. I'll see you guys next time.
That's it.